Hi there, this is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, and welcome into this episode. And it's a really important one because I'm getting lots of people asking me these days, and it's probably because of the pandemic and alcohol consumption rates going up, and people find themselves now turning to alcohol more often. But people are asking me, Craig, how do you cut back on your drinking? So that's what I'm going to tell you today, how you do it. But are you sure you want to? Are you sure that's a good idea?
Who wants to be the next to discover how to stop drinking without willpower? Visit StopDrinkingExpert.com and grab your free place on today's coaching session.
So I get it. You wake up one morning with the hangover from hell, and you look at your phone and you've texted your ex and told him or her that you still love him or her, and you're thinking, ground, open up and swallow me. And you say to yourself, that's it. I've got to get back in control. I've just got to have one or two drinks because this can't happen again. And you say, I'm going to moderate my drinking. Because you've heard the story. You've heard that moderation is the secret. And you know, when I post something up on social media about quitting drinking, there's at least a dozen smart alecks who say, no, moderation is the key. Don't you know a little bit of alcohol's good for you? Like they're breaking news. And it sounds laudable, doesn't it? You mean, you know, if you just cut back on your alcohol so you don't have these extreme hangovers, you don't embarrass yourself, you don't do this and you don't do that, that's surely much better than quitting completely. Because only proper alcoholics have to quit drinking completely, don't they? And you're not an alcoholic, you just, you've lost control of it. So moderation is the way you've decided to go. And so you try and come up with some definition of what that means, because what does moderation mean? Does it mean you're allowed a very specific number of drinks? Does it mean you're only allowed to drink on certain days? Or if you drink less than what you were before, does that count? Is that moderation? And it's impossible to really decide. So you have to come up with some rules for yourself. Because we love following rules, don't we? They work so well. So we start saying things to ourselves like, well, I'm only going to drink on the weekends. I'm not going to drink during the week anymore. Or I'm going to drink a glass of water for every alcoholic drink I have. Or I'm only going to drink on special occasions. And then you have to answer the question, what constitutes a special occasion? And you find yourself celebrating the weirdest stuff. Oh, it's the dog's birthday. We better have a party because he's the big one. He's 3. What is a special occasion? So it's so woolly that you're required to create these arbitrary rules for yourself. And the problem with rules is eventually you're going to break them because it's just internal civil war. You know, if you've got a craving to drink and you've set yourself a rule that says you're not allowed to, how long is that going to last? And this is not just about alcohol. It's about everything where you set a rule. If you say to yourself, I have to go for a run every day for the next 90 days or else, do you really think you're going to stick to that because you've laid down the law to yourself? When you go on a diet and you say, well, that's it, I'm not eating chocolate for the next month. Isn't it true that almost seconds after you set that rule in stone, you go crazy climbing the walls, desperate for chocolate? Do you know why? Do you know why this is the case? Because for you to not eat chocolate, you have to first think about eating chocolate. For you to police your rules around moderation, you first have to consider doing the opposite. And it drives you crazy. And you're not in control of this because I can do it to you now. You know, if I say to you, whatever you do, don't think about a pink elephant, you can't help it. It's like you're probably not aware of your left foot until I tell you to be aware of your left foot. And no matter what you do, you cannot not be aware of your left foot now because I've brought it to your conscious mind. And so when you set these rules for yourself and you say, well, I'm only going to have 2 drinks, you have this constant thing going through your head of what will happen if you have more than 2 drinks. What will it feel like if you have to get to 2 drinks and stop? And it's just torturous. And so this whole premise of, cutting back on drinking being better than going sober is built on a false assumption. It's built on the false assumption that it's easier. And it's not. Moderation is hell on earth. Quitting drinking is easy by comparison. Because what you will find when you moderate your drinking is, rather than alcohol becoming smaller and less significant in your life, it becomes dramatically more important. It becomes all-encompassing. You're spending all your time wondering, how much is too much? How much is enough? How much am I allowed? How am I going to cope at the party? Will I be able to stick to 1 drink? Will I have the willpower? It dominates your thoughts to the point where you're no longer present. You go to a party as a person drinking in moderation and you don't have fun because you spend your whole time thinking about alcohol. Thinking, well, I've had 1 drink. I'm only allowed to have 1 more. Should I have it now or shall I wait an hour? And how will I feel after I've had that one? And you're not even there at the party anymore. You're not present. Your mind is somewhere else. And so I will say this as black and white as I can for you. Moderating your drinking is a miserable affair. If you want to make this easy for yourself, just quit drinking. I know it sounds harder, but it's not. And actually, if you think about this logically, alcohol is this thing that's making you miserable, damaging your health, causing you all sorts of problems all over the place, and you know that it's only going to get worse. Where is the logic in moderating that? If you think about it, if you change the substance, it makes it so much easier to see. If someone came to you and said, look, I've been using heroin. It's destroying my life. It's making me miserable. I hate it. It's causing so much damage. So I've decided to only use it on Tuesdays. Would you say, yeah, sounds like a really good idea, and I'm 100% convinced you can stick to that? Or would you say, that's insane, stop it immediately? When you change the substance, it becomes obvious what the thing to do is. So if you want to know how to cut back on your drinking, I can give you all the stuff that people do, like having a glass of water in between alcoholic drinks, and you will see these sorts of suggestions in lifestyle magazines all over the place because they haven't got a clue either. I can give you all this nonsense, but it won't work because it's just civil war in your head. And so what I can help you with very easily is quitting drinking. It's so much easier. And if you're ready to find out how, book your place on my free coaching session today, and I will tell you how it works. Please like and subscribe and comment on my YouTube channel. I love to hear from you. And hopefully I see you inside my members area very soon.
Imagine no more hangovers, no more mornings of guilt and regret, and no willpower required to get there.
Really consider this because it's different. It's different to anything you can find out there, and it gives you real mental freedom from the clutches of alcohol.
Get my best-selling ebook free today at stopdrinkingexpert.com.
Without a doubt, if you can make it happen, if you can find a way, if it's something that you feel the heartstrings pulling, that you need to make a change in your life, then you need to pull out all the stops. Pull out all the stops to make it happen and be here.
It's just so worth it. Why did I waste all those years? Being in my middle 60s now, I wasted so many years drinking.
Find out why this is the net's only 5-star rated quit drinking solution. And get your free ebook today at stopdrinkingexpert.com.